Guten Tag to all the urbanists watching around the world. We are in the beautiful Bavarian capital of Munich. I'm Ariel, this is Urbanist, and of course this is beautiful Germany, but we are in the southern part of Germany called Bavaria. And this is the main city of this is the city of Munich, which is the capital city of Bavaria. And it is also one of the economic powerhouses of the country of Germany, which overall as a country is also an economic powerhouse in the European Union. Today we're going to explore the old town center on this very rainy day. I hope you enjoy it. I just came from this cafe. Highly recommend it. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I'll show you the name right over here. There was no service inside, so I couldn't really do a live video, although I was very tempted to do so. But great drip coffee, and they do very freshly made donuts. Look at that. Beautiful fresh donuts. So highly recommend this cafe. It's right in front of Italy, ironically. This used to be the old food hall of Germany, of here in Munich. And as you can see, it has still that old architecture to it. But it was converted into Italy, which is an authentic Italian delicatessen and grocery store and restaurants. So let me know where you're watching from. I'm so excited to explore a little bit of the Old Town Center. We're gonna go a little bit on the outer perimeter of the Old Town Center first, and then we're gonna go right into the heart of where everything is, the most famous area in the Old Town Center, Marienplatz. Let me know where you're watching from. David says, Guten Tag. Yeah, Guten Tag. So beautiful architecture around here. So also Germany has pretty strict privacy laws. So in order to respect those privacy laws, they're much more stricter than any place I've been to thus far. I might be pointing the camera more to myself or to the buildings. So if you're wondering why you're not showing the street life, that might be the reason. But although it's okay to show the street scene overall, that's okay. So here we have one of the plazas. Hello, Susie from downtown Manhattan, watching from work. We won't tell your boss. So Munich unfortunately was ravaged by the attacks during World War II. Of course, there was massive bombing raids by the Americans and the Brits here, and a lot of the older buildings were destroyed. Munich, after the war, did rebuild some of those older buildings because there was extensive documentation by the National Socialist Party. They were massive lovers of their own history here, especially if it dealt with what they deemed to be the pure German history. We'll get into that very soon. So they used that documentation in order to rebuild some of these structures. Of course, we have some structures that predate World War II, and they're all around the city. Most likely this one, it appears to me to be the case. But we see some newer structures like the building right behind this museum of the city of Munich, which I actually might visit very soon. Hopefully it's open late. But we see a new building and what appears to be a bit older building from the 1800s. Colleen says, absolutely beautiful view. Elise, nice to see you here. So let's get oriented here. Let's orient ourselves here in Munich. We are in Sebastiansplatz. Platz basically means plaza. We're in the plaza of Sebastian. We're gonna go later to Marienplatz. And let's see, we are here, right by the city, the museum of the city of Munich. And we're right by the synagogue. And this is a very important site. And then this is the old town center right over here. Cool that they have all the points of interest. It's all written in German, but pro tip, use a phone, download the Google Translate app, and that has a camera feature where you can point the camera to any text, and I'll translate it for you. Even text written on something more visual, like a map. Wendy says, is your family still with me? So yes, I am. The entire time I'm in Germany, I will be with my family. And then they're going to continue on a different leg of their trip. And I'm going to go back to New York for a little while. And in June, I'm going to do a bunch of lives with Classic Harbor Line. So you're going to see a lot of the New York City waterfront on live video on Classic Harbor Line's YouTube. So do be sure to follow them. But yeah, I'm traveling with them with 2 out of the 3 legs of their trip. So here we have the beautiful structure of the synagogue. Now, there used to be an older synagogue here, but it was destroyed, unfortunately, in the events leading up to World War II. Of course, we all know who took control. I hope many people do know what happened in World War II, but if you don't, because I do have people tuning in from all around the world, and sometimes European history is not always covered, and I think it'll be unfair to assume that European history should be covered. But during World War II, quick primer, a man by the name of Adolf Hitler, who was Austrian, took power of a very distraught Germany that was going through tough economic hardships after World War I. World War I, the Allied powers that won the war, England, France, the US, Canada, other powers, end up imposing very harsh restrictions upon Germany and asking for repayment of the cost of war. This was a fairly normal practice, so this was not anything new in global history until that point. But the Germans really took it hard, and there was hyperinflation. There was a common anecdote that says that one of the major German leaders had to take out all their huge amounts of wealth from the bank, and that he got robbed as he took off millions of German notes. And the robber did not steal the bank notes. The robber stole the wheelbarrow. And that was the terrible circumstances that Germany was in. So here came this young Austrian man along with a war hero by the name of Göring and a group of other individuals who were in extreme anger as to what was happening here in Germany, but also they took out that anger, unfortunately, on another population, which was the Jewish population. So they were angry against the communists, they were angry against the Allied powers, Germany, France, the US, and others, and they were angry, unfortunately, against the Jewish population. They birthed the National Socialist Party right here in this very city. If you want to see the actually founding place of the party, you can actually go to my previous live video of the Hofbräuhaus, and that beer hall was where the party officially started, in essence. There was a synagogue that was here because in Munich prior to World War II, there was a population of 10,000 people. But unfortunately, that party, the National Socialist Party, the leader Adolf Hitler, and his entire war machine did not just impose a flurry of bombs and attacks upon other countries, but also upon its own people, who just happened to be Jewish or other communities like the LGBT community. Those 10,000 Jews in Munich disappeared, along with all their religious structures that used to stand here. Then later in the 70s or 80s or so, Germany actually had a refugee policy for people escaping from hardship in Russia and the USSR. And a lot of those people who came here were Jews. Since then, now the Jewish population is back to the numbers that it was before World War II. Now, of course, they're from a different area of Europe/Central Asia. They are not from Germany. But now there is a sizable Jewish population here in Munich once again. Hey, Ron says, did you bring Seattle to Munich? Yeah, it feels like that. Certainly. Before you be sure to go to the Nazi HQ, which now flies the flag of the Israeli consulate. Oh, I see. Okay. I'm so glad to see your passion for our history. Please tell fellow Americans about it. Yeah, I will. Chris says you should see and ride the Falkor, the Luck Dragon from the Never-Ending Story at the Bavaria Film Studio in Munich. Ah, that's fascinating. I will look into it. David says, I worked in the Köln Ford work for a couple of years back in the 1990s and fell in love with the Deutschland, which is Germany. Germany's name in German is Deutschland. Not to be confused with Dutch. Different things. That's awesome, man. Here. His knowledge is extensive. Let's all give it all we can do, says Larry. Hey, Larry, thank you so much. Appreciate that. All right, so you'll notice one thing. No one here is jaywalking. Germany, you can't jaywalk. It's against the law. Unfortunately, I think they do enforce fines. Germans do clarify that for me, but I'm under the impression that a police officer tends to enforce it more than other countries. And then B, you can be socially shamed. That's what I heard, at least. There's the bus system. Sunshine, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Appreciate you that. Appreciate Sunshine. Thank you so much. So beautiful there. It's gorgeous, gorgeous buildings. Here, another historical building right over here. I'm waiting for the light to turn. It's taking ages. I really want to jaywalk like in New York. I will respect the laws of the Deutschland. AK says, hello, nice to see you here. Richardson from Romania, welcome. Nice to see you here. So a lot of new architecture you can see all around. Michelle says, Rodinger, nice to see you here. You're finally in Germany, says Clemens. Yeah, I am. I am in Germany. Happy to be here. I'm really loving the culture and the people and the history. Lots of history here. Not just about World War II. There's more history here. I just happen to really been into the World War II history right now, so we're going to talk mostly about that as we're wandering around. So here we have one of the main shopping streets. Susie says, socially shaming? How? So Susie asked, how do the Germans socially shame you? Well, this is stereotype, and this is what I've learned watching a lot of TikToks of people who live in Germany. And I heard of a thing called the German stare. I'm not sure if there's a German word for it. I think there is, because in German there's some very unique words that don't have a direct single word translation in English. But apparently the German stare is they'll stare you down if you're doing something that is not seen as socially acceptable. All right, so let's go a little bit down this shopping street because there's a really cool surprise just a block down there. So let's see, what's the name of this shopping street so I know. Here's one of the many beer halls. They're all around the city. Lots of places to drink beer. Eat Wiener Schnitzel or sausage. Not sure if cars give the right of way here. Let's see. Nicole says, have you noticed the German stare so far? A little bit when I was live streaming at the beer hall. But not so much yet. Luckily it's raining and traffic here is a bit light. So this is the name of the street. Senglinger Street. Senglinger. Michael says, have you been to Marienplatz yet? No, not yet. Stay tuned. I will be showing Marienplatz on this live stream. I love the architecture here. And the buildings are so big. But they all it all feels nice. I don't feel overwhelmed. There's a lot of like little arcades as well. Arcade meaning indoor passageways or like covered malls, in essence, mini malls here all throughout the old town. Wow. MZ says, will you be going to a famous castle? Who knows? Stay tuned. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is a gorgeous building, but we're gonna go right in front to the most Baroque church that you'll see out of Italy. This is the Asam Kirk, or the Asam Church, built by two brothers who were Baroque architects. Baroque was a movement in art during the time of Bernini. And also one of my favorite artists, Caravaggio. Baroque was known for its very dramatic forms of storytelling when it came to painting, but the same thing applies to architecture. As you can see, there's already a lot of drama, even on the outside. It's like Bridgerton, but if it were a few centuries ago. And you know what they say, if it ain't Baroque, don't fix it. So let's go inside. The two architects are right there with their portrait. One, and there's another one out of our line of sight. So this dome is actually flat. It's an optical illusion. So gorgeous church. I couldn't speak too much there because people were worshiping. I'm kind of shocked people were worshiping because the original point of this church really wasn't to be necessarily a place of worship. The Asam brothers, which you saw a portrait of one of them, we couldn't really see the other guy. They flank the altar. These brothers built this church right next to their home. They live right next door, and it was meant to be as a showpiece, in essence, for reverends and clergy of other, well, not reverends, but clergy of other places of Bavaria or the parts of Europe to, in essence, shop for what type of architectural details would they love in their own church if they were to hire the Asam brothers. So this was more like a gallery showroom, as we see in some like major furniture stores nowadays, or like interior design stores. However, we saw that roof, that ceiling. That ceiling actually is not a dome. It is an optical illusion. That ceiling is completely flat. It kind of looks like it's a dome. It's completely flat. It's an optical illusion. The other thing is, you saw the marble. It had a strange sound to it, right? It sounded a bit hollow. Well, it's because that is marble paint. It is not actual, well, at least not the entire thing, but a lot of it is not actually marble. It's only meant to look like marble. It's wood, and there's a tiny facade either of stone or paint that looks like marble. And then the other thing is that you saw death cutting off the string of life off of like a little kid or something like that. So a lot of cool details in that church. And someone said it's Rococo. Yeah, it's a lot of Rococo-ness as well. So Rococo is kind of like a branch off Baroque in essence. All right, let's go to the gates before we go back into the Old Town Center. Hey, Colleen, I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful birthday. Was it yesterday, right? I hope you had the best birthday, Colleen. Everyone give Colleen a round of hearts. It was a birthday just this week. Just yesterday, I think, or the day before. I hope you had a wonderful time. Wait, this isn't even the Old Town. Well, we're in the Old Town perimeter, but we'll see a little bit more of the much older parts in a little bit. Danette says you show great things. Oh, I'm so glad. Connie, nice to see you here. Welcome. Hello, Miss Philly. All right, here we are at the medieval gates. Now, I'm not 100% sure which ones are original. I assume at least part of this structure is original from medieval times, but Munich used to be a walled city, like many other medieval cities we visited in the past, like in France, Italy. We visited Assisi, for example, Maastricht in Netherlands, walled cities all around. Now, most of the wall was destroyed or dismantled at some point. And then parts of the wall that did survive any type of dismantling or quarrying was destroyed during World War II, except for some of these gates that still stand today or were partly rebuilt. Now, it was through one of these gates that one of Hitler's first attempts at assuming power was called the Beer Hall Putsch, which was this attempt in the attempt after having a epic speech, or what he thought was an epic speech, at one of the local beer halls, which was nearby, no longer around, trying to rile up the crowd. And of course, many people know that he had a certain level of charisma when it came to talking in public. So he did rile up a small crowd, and they started marching the streets of Munich, passing through some of these gates and making their way into Marienplatz. This was a failed revolution. They were met with very strong police force, and they started shooting into the crowd of this militia, which was the National Socialist Party. The reason they were even able to get a type of militia was because one of the older leaders of this party, who was another war hero, ended up finding a loophole in terms of the law by setting up a gymnastics association. And that was, in essence, the original militia of the National Socialist Party. So they go all the way to Marienplatz. Police are shooting at them. And then as police get a little bit more aggressive, they start shooting towards Hitler himself. One of the members of the National Socialists actually pulls Hitler down right before he's actually shot in the head. Hitler dodges that bullet. The man who pulled him down ended up getting subsequently shot. In this entire scuffle, Hitler actually escapes, barely, with his life. He assumes that he's getting shot. He's on a vehicle trying to flee as fast as possible from the city of Munich. However, his doctor, he happens to be there with a doctor, and the doctor assures him no, he wasn't actually shot, but he dislocated his shoulder. As he's fleeing through the German countryside, he's later then captured. There's a very big court battle. This ends up becoming quite a media circus. And at that time, he wasn't even known. He was just some random Austrian dude, in essence. But due to this entire scandal, this attempted revolution, and the subsequent court battle, in order to sentence him, he ended up getting a lot of media coverage. It kind of goes to show that the media is a very powerful force, even nearly 100 years ago, 90 years ago, just like it is in very recent times. So he became very famous through that. He served a few years in jail, and that's where he wrote that book. And after that, he assumed power. But of course, these gates predate all those events. They come back to medieval times when Bavaria was a mighty kingdom in this region, part of the Holy Roman Empire, because Bavaria is the Catholic area of Germany. There's still a lot of Catholic churches, which we're going to pass by some of them soon. But we're not going to go to this Newtown area. Now we're going to circle back. So let's circle back. Also, do your own research. I'm telling a lot of this history off the top of my head. So this is not a lecture, nor is this, I don't have any scripts nor notes. I just passionately read history, very intrigued by it. But I might be saying things that are, that require a little bit more level of accuracy. So do your own research after this in order to learn the history accurately and with good sources. Donald says the rain seems to be following you from country to country. Yeah, I'm surprised. You know, past two trips I've done in Europe in the past 2 summers, 2022 and 2021, I had nearly more than 2 months of sun. I barely saw rain in those 2 epic trips. But this time around, oh no, lots of rain. I think May might be a rainy season. April certainly is. Ron says, be honest, you're going to pick up your new BMW. There is the BMW museum, and yes, you can purchase a BMW and pick it up at the museum. Joe says, I trust you with the information. Yeah, in general, the information is correct. It's just, of course, I'm walking and talking, telling stories off the cuff. So details, of course, may not always be 100% accurate, but I'll always do my best to respect the history. So you're getting always the gist of what is the actual history. Ow, says great commentary. Robin says your history telling is always intriguing. I'm so glad you think so. That's awesome to hear. Donald says you always do a lot of research. Indeed I do. No Hofbrauhaus today, Ashley. Ooh, Ashley, you gotta see my last broadcast. I was just at the Hofbrauhaus earlier today. Did a full hour broadcast. Drank a liter of beer. Had a merry time. Hey, Chris says, I was just watching your beer garden video. There we go. Speaking of the beer, check out that video after this broadcast. But for now, let's go over to a few churches. There's at least 2 more. So we saw this one, the Asam Church. But now we're gonna go into 2 other churches. Wendy says, is Burger King here? Yeah, Burger King is in Germany. I've seen one thus far at the train station in Stuttgart. I have not seen one yet, randomly in Munich, not yet. Ron says, if you're wrong, we'll just call it Ariel Facts. Okay, so speaking about historiography. So historiography is a study of history and how history is acquired, how you learn about the history, and the sources of said history. That's historiography. One man who was unfortunately very abusive of proper historiography was Adolf Hitler himself. Yeah, that guy. I told you how this attempted revolution was a failure in essence. Man, he almost died. He had to be saved by some random member of his party, and he dislocated his shoulder. He fled, and he later tried to attempt suicide when he was captured. Well, after he assumed power, those details started becoming different. It was more of a historic stand. He was a hero in this so-called revolution. He was not needed to be saved. He survived out of his own sheer power and will. And that detail, him trying to kill himself, well, was omitted from at least his own accounts. So there we go. He was a bit liberal with his history. And I don't mean to laugh to make too much lightness of the situation. It definitely was a very, very tragic and heinous part of history. Hey, Ella says, greetings from Bavaria. Ella, nice to see you here. All right, so we're heading down there, that steeple. Joe says, coming in from YouTube. Hey, Joe, thank you so much for tuning in. Carson says, I'm loving the architecture. I'm so glad you are. Me too. Just stunned by the architecture. And the new architecture here. They have great architects because these modern buildings, there's something about them. I gotta study them closer walking around, but they just are more cohesive with the rest of the older architecture, and they just look more beautiful than what I'm accustomed to even in parts like New York, where the very new architecture, I don't know, kind of looks a bit bland, but I love how here it's nice. For example, this is fairly new, but they emulate the stonework of the older buildings, even though that's cement. And here, this one with the huge windows. Yeah, it's a lot of glass and steel, but somehow the windows, oh no, they have a nicer look to them. Maybe it's because of that balcony, the hanging steel bars right here as well. Have you tried Wiener Schnitzel? Yes, Joe. Yeah, I tried a Wiener Schnitzel yesterday at the Augustiner. Really good. Highly recommend. Actually, it was amazing. The tenderest Wiener Schnitzel I've had thus far. I am going to have more, that's for sure. So if you're tuning in tomorrow, tomorrow there is change of schedule. I'm going live Saturday and Sunday at 2 p.m. 2 p.m. Western European time. And I think I'm walking a bit too far. Get oriented. So yeah, 2 p.m. tomorrow. That is 8 a.m. New York City time, Saturday and Sunday. Tomorrow there'll be live videos at random times, mini lives, because I'm doing a day trip outside of the city. So Saturday and Sunday, 2 p.m. Western European time, 8 a.m. New York City time. What's the clue to the next country? Oh, there isn't any country. I'm sticking to Germany, and then I'm back in New York for a while. A. Lesser says, what are the people in Munich known as? Oh, I don't know what the nickname for the people of Munich is. I mean, Munich is an English version of the name. I'm not sure how to pronounce the German one. München? München? I'm gonna go to Marienplatz. Let's go to Marienplatz first. One thing I do notice is a lot of men here as we're walking around. You might see them in the crowd. A lot of men wear jackets here. Formal jackets. Wendy and DS, nice to see you here. Welcome. DS says there's no skyscrapers in Munich. No, the only skyscraper city really in Germany is Frankfurt. I'm not 100% sure if there's a skyscraper in Munich, but certainly not in the center of the city. So any German tuning in, let me know. All right, let's go Marienplatz. So here we see another beer hall. This one's selling Paulaner. Paulaner is available in New York. They used to have a brewery in New York, but they've closed. Yeah, sports jackets, what I mentioned earlier. Yeah, a lot of people here in Munich, I've noticed, dress a little bit more formal than New York or Paris. 30s and above wearing sports coats. Not now because it's raining though. So here we are approaching Marienplatz, which means the Plaza of Mary, the Virgin Mary. And of course it's because we are in the Catholic area of Germany. Bavaria used to be one of the main centers of the Holy Roman Empire. And the Holy Roman Empire in essence carried Christianity for a few centuries at least, until power went back into Rome, the Vatican City specifically. And right here we have the town hall. Now this town hall looks Gothic. Looks like, oh, it should belong, it was built in the 1400s. No, it's actually Neo-Gothic. It was built a little bit later in the 1800s. meant to look like it was built many years ago. And a lot of the statues we see outside are not of saints. They might look like saints, but there are a lot of secular figures. This building isn't really religious at all, though it looks like it. Over here we have a famous clock that turns on 3 times a day. I think it's 11, maybe noon, and 5 p.m. I think is the last one. And it shows a wedding scene. Henning says Germany has Central European time. Yes. Meta says looks like Rathaus in Hamburg. Ah, fascinating. Jeff says the mayor of Munich really does work in this building. Does he? Let me know. Medra says I have a big polymer glass. The bottom fell out through it after a while. Really? The bottom fell out? Oh, I'm kind of shocked that glassware actually bottomed out. Is there a metro? It says I'm going to show you the entrance. I'm not entirely sure what are the rules with metro filming. I'm getting the vibe I can't really show you the metro on video. But they have 3 systems for rapid transit. There's the S-Bahn, the U-Bahn, and the trams. S-Bahn and U-Bahns are 2 different types of kind of subways, metros, or undergrounds, and the tram is above ground, mostly at least. I think entirely is above ground. And then there's buses as well. Hey, Nicole says I have to go. See you soon. Hey, Nicole. Nicole gave a very kind super chat yesterday. So thank you so much, Nicole. Nicole's basically in essence sponsored a meal with me and my family, and I'm so grateful for that. So round of hearts for Nicole, who's from Germany, a different part of Germany, and I'm so grateful that you gave a very kind super chat via PayPal. Thank you so much. Here we have a statue in the middle, and it's depicting Christian soldiers decimating the 4 hardships of humanity. The lion right over here is hunger. We have the rooster, which is heresy. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, these are angels. These angels are defeating hunger, heresy. We have the dragon, which is war. And then here we have the snake. Actually, sorry, the rooster is plague, and the snake is heresy. The rooster is plague, and the snake is heresy. Now, a snake also represents the Protestant movement, because up north in northern Germany was quickly becoming Lutheran with the rebellion of Martin Luther, separating from the church, the Protestant Reformation. It was a huge deal, ended up becoming a very bloody affair. Protestant Reformation was anything but peaceful. There was a lot of bloodshed, and some of the most heinous, terrible things that you can read about in terms of humans enacting violence upon others happened during that time. Martin Luther was not responsible for any of that, and I would not put personal responsibility for my own interpretation of the history on Luther himself, but the people who were around that same time and other Protestants around the same time committed some very terrible things, and also on the other side. So if you all read about the history, you can go for it. But it gets very ugly very quickly. Over there we have was the old town hall, but that was also partly rebuilt. Oh, we have the zodiac on that clock. That's fascinating. All right, let me see if we can walk into the courtyard of the new town hall. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, let me know if you still see me and hear me. I'm not sure if the connection dropped. Okay, it doesn't appear to be the case. All right, let's go. MZ says, are the stones slippery? Not so much. There's a few stones that are slippery, but not so much. You're pretty safe here. Oh, wow. Behold the courtyard of the new town hall. Oh my. Larry says sound quality is excellent. I'm so glad you're enjoying it, Larry. That is stunning. What happened to his whisk? It's more like a bouquet of metal. Chris says, I may be strange, but I love the occasional rainy day here on vacation. Yeah, well, it is nice because the city is pretty empty. I gotta clean my lens once again. Nola says, people happen to the whisk. Yeah, indeed. Great architecture. Oh. Neo-Gothic is such an awesome era of architecture. I think we should bring back Gothic once again. There's a restaurant here. The Ratskeller München. Wow. Alright, I don't think there's gonna be any more service further down below. Whew, it's cold, okay. Let me know if you see me and hear me. Once again, no service in that underground restaurant. See if they have sauerkraut soup. Sauerkraut alone is good. I'm not sure in soup form it's worth it. One more time. All right, let's check out this church, St. Peter's Kirk, St. Peter's Church. Ashley says this is Marienplatz. Yeah, this is indeed Marienplatz. There's all the people. Yeah, all the people are here. One of the entrances to the train is here. The S-Bahn, which you see marked by the letter S, and the U-Bahn, marked by the letter U. Two different systems of rapid transit trains. And then the lower levels are awesome. Do walk into the lower levels. There's bathrooms. I think you have to pay for them. And there are an entire host of stores to shop for basic pastries and breads and bakeries. And there is fast food as well. It's actually very nice down below. It's not too heavily commercial like you might encounter in certain train stations in other places. So it's very nice. So here is St. Peter's Kirk, one of the main churches of beautiful Munich. Let's walk inside. I gotta be a little bit quiet because I think there might be a service here. Let's see. love the smell of myrrh in the morning. And right here we have the skeletal remains of a martyr. Wow. This is a martyr, a woman who, despite living during the downfall, close to the downfall of Rome, stayed steadfast in her Christian faith and was killed for it. Munditia is her name. Munditia. Actually, a little bit later. Pardon. A little bit later. She died. 1675. Or she was brought here 1675. 100% sure. Wow, beautiful church. Let me know if you enjoyed walking to that church. There was a beautiful scent of myrrh permeating through the air. That haziness was not the camera being a little bit blurry. That was actually the haziness within inside the church. There was law burning, and that was a martyr by the name of Munditia. Don't know too much about her. I'm not sure. From what I heard, she was from ancient Roman times, but it seems like she might have been brought here in the 1600s. I'm not sure. Here we have gravestones along the side of the church. Now, the reasons we have gravestones on the wall as opposed to here on the grave site is that during the Napoleonic times, graves were actually moved to the outer perimeters of the cities. There was a huge suspicion that storing the dead within your city would lead to disease. So in order to prevent disease and overcrowding of too much graveyard space in such a dense city, they started moving it outside. Instead of discarding all the gravestones, they decided to keep some of them and place them along the walls. Have you used public transportation? Yeah, I've used the S-Bahn thus far, and it is very frequent. The service runs extremely frequent, like a train every minute, which is insane compared to New York, where the frequency is less, a lot less. And then the other thing is, it is a bit confusing because everything is written in German, so you gotta kind of memorize what direction you're going, and there's a lot of lines. And then they have colors that are not primary colors, like New York mostly sticks to. So there's like teal, there's like a light green, and the dark green. It gets a bit confusing. I wonder where this door leads. That's kind of cool. Oh, here we got another cool church. I don't know too much about this one. Let's check it out. But first, let's take a tiny little detour. Chris says S-Bahn is commuter rail, and then U-Bahn is metro system. Oh, thank you for clarifying. So S-Bahn actually passes through the old town center. U-Bahn is a bit outside the town center. Ida says, I like the explanations along and comparing them. Yeah, my pleasure, Ida. Thank you so much for tuning in. Ooh, so there you can buy tickets to go all there, which I might be tempted to do so at some point. So I want to go up there, but I hope I have a sunny, clear day here in Munich, because you can see the mountain ranges from here. And I'm not sure if they're snow-topped at the moment. I think they might be. Let me know, Germans. Are they snow-topped year-round? Or is that just the French Alps and the Italian Alps? But nonetheless, I would love to see the mountains. But it's been so cloudy and rainy that I haven't seen any mountains yet. And I want to like go to the mountains as well. Hey Manny, ¿cómo te llevas con la idioma alemana? Aquí, tú sabes, hablando alemán es bastante difícil, pero la cosa buena y tú eres un hablador en inglés es que puedo leer un poquito alemán, puedo desfrizar qué está escrito. Pero para hablar alemán es difícil. Ojalá, por suerte, muchas de las personas aquí son bien proficientes en alemán y hablan, en inglés, y hablan excelente inglés. Entonces viene fácil hablar directamente inglés con cualquier persona. Obviamente, para ser un poco cortés, es mejor decir danke que gracias y Guten Tag, buenos días. Pero con todo esto tú puedes fácilmente hablar inglés y todo el mundo te respuesta en inglés y cortésamente y con alegría. Manny asks, how is German? Also DS. Speaking German is hard, but since I'm an English speaker and English is partly based on German or Germanic language, it's easy to decipher a little bit what is written down. Not so much, but just a bit. However, when it comes to speaking it, really everyone here speaks proficient English. In order to be maybe polite, a little bit courteous, it's nice to say the basics. Hello, which is hallo, or Guten Tag, Guten Morgen, or thank you, which is Danken, or thank you very much, Danke schön. It's nice. And I was speaking Spanish right before this. All right, let's try a bratwurst, shall we? All right, so let's go. like one of the red ones, please. Do you have a sparkling water? Yeah. How much? Do you have sparkling? With fizz? With
Gas.
yeah, gas. There we go. Yeah. Thank you. Hey, Randy says, I like the church bell for effect. Yeah, it is nice. All right, let's try to have this with a beer. Hopefully the beer hall is still open. So this is the main shopping area, the main like outdoor market area. It's very old, more than 100 years. Some places actually predate. Some of these places actually date back to about 100 years old. Hopefully we'll pass by one of them. Hey, guten Tag. Just a regular Polliner? Do you have one? Yeah. Okay. Danke. Dankeschön. Okay. Got a lot of stuff. Beer, sausage. I'm carrying so much stuff. Sparkling water. All right. I'll let everyone know what I paid. I'm not sure how much he charged me. Something. I think it was like 5 something. Yeah, 5 something. Like 580. All right. There we go. Someone left me a super chat. Who was it? Hey, Roxanne, leaving me a super chat tonight. Open drinking? No, you can't walk around with the beer. I don't think so. Plus, it's a glass. They didn't give me any token of some sort. So, I'm under the impression some beer gardens, you have to like give a They give you a token, and then they give you your change. I'm not sure how it works, but some places try to ensure that you don't steal the glass. Here, I don't think they care. I don't know. They probably do care, but of course, they hope that most people won't. But yeah, I just paid. It was 5 something, 580 or something like that. Good price for a pint of Polliner. Right here, Polliner, and I have a nice sausage. Look at that, nice bread. Not your fluffy kind of American hot dog bread, because this is more kind of actual little mini baguette in essence. Some sweet mustard, and here we have, well, we're gonna have a lot of snap on this sausage, and the beer is Polliner. So Neptune Sir says you can drink beer in the streets. So how do people usually drink beer in the streets? Do let me know. Do people do they have plastic Do let me know. I'm very curious. I haven't seen too many people drinking on the streets. I saw people drinking in the train station, like buying a beer. There's a little hard piece. I'm not sure what that is. A piece of cartilage or something. That is a good sausage. Wow. Great bread. Different from what I'm used to. I'm used to the soft kind of more fluffy bread of hot dogs in America. Also, I encountered more of the bread in Denmark, which has some of the best hot dogs in the entire world. Has fluffy bread as well. This one is a bit harder. It's more like a baguette, but it's a lot of snap. But the flavor, wow, not quite as snappy as the Denmark one. So you can see my Denmark video. There's a lot of snappiness in that, but it has a lot of flavor. Just really filled, full flavors. That's delicious. Wow. The mustard here in so far in Bavaria, whole other level. I don't know what they do different here in the mustard. It feels like I never tried mustard before until I came here. I have no idea why the mustard here is so more complex in flavor. I didn't think a condiment can get that complex in flavor, but mustard here is just so more than any other mustard I've tried before. Even the French kind, the Dijon mustard, is a bit more of a kick, but here just this mustard has such an array of flavors. There's a slight sweetness, a little bit kind of like that onion taste. I'm not sure if they have onions, but kind of that kind of acidity from onions. And then the bread is a bit hard. It's a bit on the hard side, but it's pretty good. The sausage itself has smoked taste, so this is a smoked sausage, but it's not that quite. In America, when we have smoked sausages, they tend to be very kind of punch in your face smokiness. I've tried other countries with the smoked sausage, like the UK. It's a bit of a punch of smokiness. Here the smokiness is like a light smokiness. It's not suffocating, calling the fire department type of smokiness. Here is more like, oh, you know, there's a little fire somewhere. That's the type of smokiness. All right, let's try the Polliner beer. Oh wow, that's a good beer. I wonder if this one will make me red. If you saw my previous beer video, I went to the Hofbrauhaus. The Hofbrau company, that one has made me very red drinking it. The Augustiner, same thing, made me red. I'm not sure about this one. I don't think so. And it's so good, so light, so refreshing. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, that's a very good one. And mind you, we're in the touristy area, so they're charging me $5 something here, $5.80 for this beer. But if you go, I think, out in the countryside, and Germans, please confirm. But from what I've read and seen videos of other Germans doing TikTok or YouTube. He said that the beer can be as cheap as like 180 to 2 something for a pint like this, a half liter. Ooh, that is a great beer. Number 1 so far. Number 1. So far I've tried Hofbrauhaus, Augustiner, and the third one is Polliner. Right now the ranking is Polliner number 1, Augustiner number 2. Oh, I'm already being very German. I'm not doing this. I'm doing this. I'm counting the German way. So Polliner number 1, Augustiner number 2, and Hofbrauhaus number 3. Let's see if I can find a good Spaten at some point. And Spaten is my personal favorite because I have it in the US all the time. So let's see if Spaten is as good here in Munich. Will it beat Polliner? Well, who knows? Hey, Ashley says, screw it, I'm gonna check Skyscanner right now to come to Munich. It's worth it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. It's a great city to visit, truly. So feel free to ask me any questions. I'm going to continue eating right here. I'm standing on the puddle, but luckily I have some Converse boots on, so I'm not getting wet. So feel free to ask me any questions as I finish off this hot dog and this beer. This beer, I'm gonna finish it. I'm not getting rid with it. Yes, I found a beer that I'm not allergic to. I'm so happy. This is great news, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not sure if anyone, maybe my Asian viewers go through this. I know some Irish actually go through this as well. It's called the Asian flush. Some people call it the Irish flush. And some people are just generally allergic to components used in beer. And that's why I tend to get red when I have beer and some wines. But some beers a lot less than others. I'm not entirely sure the reasons. Partly it's due to what's called histamines. So it's nice to find a beer that agrees with me. And I'm sure because genetically, a lot of people from East Asia go through the same thing. So that's why stereotypically, when you see animes or shows from Japan or from China, from Korea, they stereotypically show them drinking and they're very, very red-faced. So that's not just limited to East Asians, it happens with people from all around the world. Hey, Mika says, as it's only been raining, have you been to a beer garden? No, I haven't been. We'll pass by one soon, but no, I haven't sat in a proper beer garden. They're closed. I haven't seen them open during this rainy time. MZ says, I do get the Asian plush. Sarah says, what's the main staple food in Munich? Sausages, pork, so roast pork, which in Spanish in Puerto Rico we call chuleta, or pernil. They have something kind of similar to pernil. Not as barbecue, not as slow cooked. Beef goulash, which is beef stew, a little bit more red color than beef bourguignon from France. A little bit more thicker sauce than the broth that is seen in France. And Wiener Schnitzel, which is a breaded, fried pork chop in essence, or pork fillet. And that's why I've come to thus far. And bread. They're known for the bread. Germans are very proud of their bread. I have yet to experience the huge, wide breadth of bread. There's a bakery in front of me. Maybe I'll try it later. Wow. I need to have like 2 or 3 more of these. Not at the moment, but in general. Because I gotta try from a few different more locations. Because if it's as good as this one, then the Munich hot dogs may beat Copenhagen. Let me know. What do you think? If you see my videos from last year from Copenhagen, you'll notice that I did love the hot dogs there. But this one, so much flavor. I just want to hug this beer. I'm so happy I found a beer that agrees with me, that this is a moment to rejoice. Proust. Hey, the Germans produce and consume the perfect fermented cabbage. Yeah, sauerkraut. It's really good. I've tried yesterday a very good sauerkraut from Augustiner, which is a big beer hall as well here. How long do you stay in Munich? I'm here for a few more days. Whether I'll cover more Munich, it's up to who knows, but I'm here for a few more days. How's this compared to Nathan's? Worlds better. You know, a lot of people who are from Europe or travel extensively to Europe know exactly what I'm talking about. The quality of food here in Europe, at least in Western Europe, is miles better than most of what you find in North America. America has great dishes that have certainly inspired huge swaths of the world. Like in France, where I just came from, there's a lot of great hamburgers. Hamburgers is an American sandwich in essence. Yeah, it has German origins, but it's American. It was innovated in America. But the French hamburgers just like beat most American hamburgers. The pies here, they're not pies, but they're strudels, similar to a pie, but the fruits here are just, they taste so much more vivid than the fruits in the US. It kind of sucks because the US, as I just mentioned, has great dishes. Burgers, barbecue, grilled cheese, different types of soups. You have carrot cake and apple pies and different types of fruit pies, crumbles, banana bread. The list goes on. You have such a variety, and some great beers as well. But we've lost the quality, the demand for quality. It sucks. You have to spend an arm and a leg to get a great beer, to get a great hot dog in America. That's New York, that's Seattle, that's Chicago, that's many parts. And it's a grand shame. Because I've tried lettuce here, even just lettuce. And the lettuce here is filled with flavor. And it's weird because I never tried lettuce with so much flavor in it. It's such a shame. I hope America changes trajectory. Because I sometimes get comments of people saying, why are you hitting on America? Why are you saying our food is terrible? It's not the food is terrible per se. It's just we just don't have the standard as high for quality as they do here in Europe, and we have to fight for that standard. We have to enforce that standard, like they do here in Germany with beer, for example. The standard of beer has been enforced here since 1516. The regulations are strict. That's why you have some classic breweries that maintain the highest of standards. And there's probably standards also as well with meats and with domesticated animals and with produce. We need the same thing in the US. And the US has great food industry. We've done many great things in food industry, but we kind of lack in the taste standards. We're great in quantity. We can produce so much hamburgers. We can produce so much beer, but the quality has suffered. We have to find our way once again in America. And once we do, it'll be a great momentous event. Because as I mentioned, America is a heaven of food. You go to any American supermarket, it is gorgeous. The abundance that we have of food in our country is marvelous, but the quality sucks. It's time to raise those standards, to man up as a country, I'd say. So yes, and on average, the food in Germany has been better here. And yes, Nathan's sucks compares to this hot dog that I just had here. And this beer, miles better than a Coors Light or a Bud Light. Miles better than Heineken. Because Heineken, of course, is from Netherlands, but it's a big operation also in America. Miles better than Corona. Rachel says Americans care more about money than quality. Germany is the economic powerhouse of Europe. If the concern is money, it's no excuse. Quality brings in money. You can't produce maybe as high as quantity, but it certainly is profitable. I mean, Germany, France, and the UK are great examples of how quality can be profitable. Italy as well, in terms of food. Though I don't know the exact economics. Of course, economics is always complicated. Wow. Oh, Polliner is way high above the other two beers. This has been an amazing beer. All right, let's continue walking around. This has been a great stop for beer. They have a little sit-down area. Unlike France, you do have to talk to the host to sit down. As I mentioned, in Paris, if you see seats outside, you can just sit down. Here you can't, unless if it's a beer garden, which I'll show you. Wow. Someone says American bread is not as good as either. Yep, exactly. Bread sucks in America, but we have great bread tradition. Sourdough, and the sourdough types of bread that are made in the U.S. The actual bread itself is amazing. Like the idea of the bread. And there's some bakeries in New York that just do amazing sourdough, but it's not ubiquitous. It is ubiquitous in countries like France. Germany, I haven't been here extensively, but I have the feeling that's the case as well here. It's ubiquitous in France to have great bread everywhere. That should be the case in the US. It's no excuse that we have shitty bread, majority, and that you have to go to a major city like New York or a fancy shop in Seattle to find great bread. No excuse. It's terrible. I mean, the bread is good enough. Definitely better than, unfortunately, some parts of the world where the food quality is very low. Yeah, it does suck, but I think it's proper, it is appropriate to compare America to Europe, to Western Europe, because we're almost on the same level economically, same level in terms of geopolitical might and power and influence. It's almost the same. So I think it's very appropriate to compare to both areas of the world, EU with America in terms of food quality. And EU is biting us in the dust. So in that case, I think we could and should step up our game. All right, let's continue walking around. I mean, danke schön. Right. Got confused with hello and thank you. So let's continue walking around. This was the little beer stop here. Highly recommend it. Polliner, so far, my top beer in Munich. I think I might enjoy a Polliner later today. Wendy says, are we getting more beer? Well, if I find a Spaten, let me know. I'll put the vote for all of you. Should I try to find the other beer of Munich? There's like 5 or 6 main historic beer brands here in Munich. We tried so far 3 of them. Oh, actually, I've tried 2 on camera. One of them I tried on my own. Spaten is the other one. So should I try to find Spaten? And let me know, should I try another one? Let me know what are the other historic ones in Munich. We'll see. We're gonna see something where it shows us actually. Other than the market, there's some souvenir stores as well. A bee shop. I love that. Let's make a beeline for the bee shop. Ooh, honey soap. Oh, I'm gonna buy this later. Oh, I love soap. Wow. This is cool soap. Has great ingredients too. Very natural. Oh my. Wow. I wonder what other soaps I'll find here in Germany. Cheeses. And we have white asparagus. White asparagus is all the rage here. I gotta try a white asparagus dish when I come here. I haven't tried one yet. I have no idea why many of my dear, loyal, kind viewers that tune in from all around the world, I'm rather insulted that many of you don't share my enthusiasm for soap. What? How dare you? Like, why? I don't get it. I'm confused. Please enlighten me. I'm not sure why. I'm joking. I'm not pissed. That feels good. Lucia says, hold on, I'll bring you a beer. Lucia says, I'm not joking. Lucia, are you from Munich? And if so, are you a beer professional? Then I might be willing to wait around. Otherwise, I will need to assess the quality of the beer before I drink it. This guy had a lot of beer. It just keeps on going and going and going and going. Does not stop. And here's the beer garden, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, it's closed. Lester says it's customary to wear lederhosen when you are live streaming in Bavaria. So yeah, the beer garden is closed. I'm so sad. Rain is forecasted well beyond when I'm here, when I leave. So there's no hope for a beer garden. So sad. All right, on to the next. Do you have some of your videos posted? Where so may we watch them with your leisure? Connie asked, where do I have my videos? Yeah, so Facebook, all the videos are, not all the videos. The videos can be seen on Facebook, but the best place to see the replays of the videos is on YouTube. Urbanist Exploring Cities. Subscribe to my channel. Subscribing is free. It's basically following. And there, it's much easier. Search for my videos. And on the search bar, search any city, name, or major landmark. And type in Urbanist. And then you'll find most of those videos. And I've covered a lot of places in many cities. New York, London, Paris, Rome. Parts of Greece. So you can find a lot of the major attractions as a live video. Or short videos as well. So here we have a pole. These poles are found in a lot of the center areas of Bavarian cities. And this pole at least marks the top beer companies in Munich. And I think each city competes to have the most elaborate pole. I'm not entirely sure. Hey, Johannes says, let me know if you want to visit a traditional brewery. A friend of mine is a brewer, 4th generation. Okay, Johannes, thank you so much for recommending that. Do reach out to me with the name of the brewery. Do reach out to me with the name of the brewery on Instagram. Urbanist Live. And send me the name of the brewery. I'll check it out. Thank you so much for recommending that. And let me know the location. So let's see the top company. So we got Hofbrauhaus, which is the HB. We have Polliner, which I just tried. My favorite thus far. We have Augustiner up there above HB. That one I tried on my own yesterday. I enjoyed it. It tasted better than HB, but it also did not agree with me too well. And then there's Hocker. I haven't tried Hocker yet. Hocker Shore. I'm not sure what this other one's called. That one has a very complicated name, the one in the middle. And Lowenbrau, haven't tried that. Lowenbrau? Not sure how to pronounce that. AU. And Spaten. Spaten, I'm excited to try. So let's see if we can find those other beers. There's a lot of stores here. Very nice. Look at the gorgeous produce, ladies and gentlemen. Don't these fruits and vegetables just pop in color? Look at that pineapple. I've never seen a pineapple so orange in my life. This is a thing of beauty, ladies and gentlemen. Look at those bananas. Just a perfect shade of yellow. Wow. This is a work of art. Now, these are protected by the city government. They don't take too much away. They don't charge them too much historically for doing business here. And that's in order to ensure that some of these shops that are multiple generations old can still continue doing business here. So it's very nice. Oh, look at that. Wow, beautiful. Look at this lettuce, ladies and gentlemen. The lettuce is outstanding. Have you seen the lettuce that green in your life? Or that perfect shade of light, whitish green? Getting a bit wet seeing all this beautiful produce. I think I might need a cigarette from that cigarette machine in Hofbräu House after seeing all this gorgeous produce. Whew. I mean wet because it's raining. Yeah. No other reason. Hey, Marianne says, Lowenbrow was always my favorite in upstate New York. Well, it's cool that upstate New York. You know, of course, there's a strong German tradition. It's not as like some places in the U.S. There's a very strong German tradition still to this day. Ladies and gentlemen, hear this. Someone's making a smoothie, but just aside from the smoothie sound, here, what is missing from, sorry, I got a little bit of hot dog still stuck in my teeth. What is missing from the soundscape of Munich? Let me know. This is a quiz. Take out your number 2 pencils, because if you get this wrong, you could be kicked out of class. Okay? So, what is missing? Actually, there's 3 things missing. It's not just one. 3 things are missing. I gotta clean my lens. 3 things missing. Main things missing from the soundscape of Munich. All right, okay, we're getting a lot of answers. A lot of people are getting it right. So Chris, Marianne, Elmay, Rachel, and Barbara all are getting right answers. Traffic. There's a little bit of traffic right behind us, but it's not immense. There's no huge highways. No massive sirens all the time, not much traffic. The second one, some people are getting it. The second one, Susie got it. The second one deals with an issue that is very New York specific, and also I encountered this in Seattle. No one's screaming. No one's cursing me out. No one's saying F you randomly. No one's calling me some type of racial or some derogatory epithet. Nothing. Not a scream. Not a yell here at all. Oh, so beautiful. It feels nice. You know, this is a particular affliction with New York and Seattle that I've encountered thus far. I can imagine San Francisco might be the same case as well. And then if you hang out at night in some countries in Europe, like parts of England, then yes, you'll also encounter some type of screaming, though it won't be as angry as it is in New York. So no screaming. But there is the third one. And this one is the most important. This one endangers my own livelihood in terms of making videos. What is the third one? No one has gotten this. Let's see if a lot of people are saying birds. No, not really. Though I haven't heard too many birds, but it's raining, so that might be the case. Not birds. We already talked about traffic. We already talked about people screaming. Construction noise. You know, that's a good one. I would say yes, it's also missing from the soundscape, but there's a third main one. Chris got it right, but very specific. No reggaeton. No reggaeton. Oh, how beautiful it is that I don't hear not one inkling of reggaeton. I mean, reggaeton is a amazing movement of music. You know, one can have a fun time with reggaeton. But there's a time and place for reggaeton. And that's usually at a party or at a concert or some type of beach where you're drinking pina coladas or sneaking in some Coronas. That's the time for reggaeton. Or you're in the car driving through the tropics. But in the middle of a beautiful city like this, there's no time for reggaeton. And I'm a Puerto Rican, so I disapprove of reggaeton in random places. And this city, like a few other cities in Europe, but not all of them, this one does not have, not one. And not heard one note of reggaeton. And I feel so good. Okay. So, let's go now to one last church to wrap this live video up. Oh, we found Raptor, the rebellious pigeon. He's the best pooper in Bavaria. He poops on all the statues, but now he's chasing one of the ladies. He's chasing two ladies, actually. He's giving up right now. Meta says, oh no, not another church. Meta, do you think I'm traveling for beer? Do you think I'm traveling to meet people? Food? No. Travel for church. That's my main motivating factor. Church. Susie says, I'll scream at you to make you feel at home. We might need that for New Yorkers who are based abroad. Yeah, that might be necessary. Maybe like a running track music album available on Spotify. Just random screams from the streets and construction noise and hordes of traffic. Blanche says, sorry for the rain. No worries. It's a bit rainy. Connie says they followed you from New York. The pigeons. Oh, that's funny. Chris says, do you think you'll ever move to Europe full time? For a few years, I do envision myself at some point in my life living here for a few years. Yes. Marrying a beautiful English or Scottish woman living in Paris. Having a lot of babies. Yes. And making movies with the British version of Hollywood. Yeah. That sounds nice. Lucian says, there's no nightlife to cover. Yeah, it's not like Athens. Athens has been so far Athens and New York has been so far the only cities I really covered nightlife. Oh, I covered nightlife in Sheffield, in England. I assume there's not too much nightlife here. Susie says I should marry a soap heiress. That might be a good idea. Marry into the family of a soap fortune. Recreate the show Succession, but about soap instead of news. All right, so now we're passing the Old Town Hall. Not sure what's inside the Old Town Hall. Seems to be a museum. The Spiegel Museum. Spiegel Museum. Pardon my German. The Speiju Museum. That's a hard one. Someone says the bells are about to ring. All right, let's check them out. Let me know exactly what time it is. Bells ringing. Uh-oh. Are we gonna see the clock? Is it 5? It might be 5 p.m. We might be here just in time. Hey, Jeff says it's the toy museum or the game museum. Thank you so much. The game museum or the toy museum? That's awesome. Yes! I think we're gonna see the clock. Yeah, everyone, we are in luck. People are gathering. Wow. A lot of people are gathering just to see this clock show. This is the hottest show in town, ladies and gentlemen. New York, we have Madison Square Garden. London has the Premier League. Manchester has its football stadiums. But here, we have the clock at Marienplatz. Depicting a wedding scene. Rachel says, I wish we had clock shows in New York City. That would be nice.
Curious.
Oh, hey, I appreciate you watching. Thank you. Do you watch one?
YouTube.
On YouTube, oh. Oh, were you the one who commented?
Yeah, exactly. You want the beer?
Yeah, I would love to see the beer. Yeah, can I show you on camera?
Yeah.
What's your name?
Hi, Lucian.
Lucian, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
What's the beer that you end up bringing?
I have a Tegernseher.
Oh, okay,
I think you
okay.
haven't tried it yet, right?
No, I don't think I've tried it.
Like this one?
Oh, no, I have not.
It's like from a lake next to Munich.
From a lake? Okay, oh,
and
that's wonderful.
I have a brewery, so it's
Oh,
a
that's
very special one. And I have this here, but you know this already,
Let me
right?
hold this for a second. That's awesome. Oh, wow. Yeah, so what's the other one?
This year, you mean?
Yeah.
That's a typical Munich brewery. It's like the most famous one, I guess.
Okay.
Like those two brands, in my age, are the most famous or most liked one.
Oh, really? Really?
Yeah.
Are these one of the classic ones or are these more the newer ones?
They are the classics one, the
Classic.
really old school ones.
Oh, I
like
see.
Spate and Löwenbräu as well, but
Yeah.
they are like taste better, we think.
Oh, okay. I'm excited to try it.
Yeah.
Can we actually drink here?
If you want, but
Okay.
you can film this.
Okay, let me film that.
Then we can drink.
Let me know if you want me to drink a beer with Lucian over here. Lucian or?
Yeah, Lucian.
Lucian. Let us know. I'm gonna show you the show. Where are you from? Are you from originally from Munich?
Yeah, I was born and raised like an hour north of Munich. In Dachau.
Okay.
You know Dachau?
No,
It's
not
like
yet.
famous for a memorial site from the Nazi time back then.
Oh, really interesting. Is it mostly German soldiers buried there?
As well, yeah.
As well. Okay. Oh, so also Allied soldiers.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Wow.
The Americans came to free it.
Oh, I see.
Make it open.
And then you come to Munich often, or you're
I
based in
live here
Munich?
right now. Like I moved here half a year ago.
Oh, congratulations!
Thank you. It was really tough.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, the rent is also high in here.
Yeah, but I'm lucky because I'm still a student and I found like a little, just a room for like 450 euros.
Okay.
Like 12 square meters, which is really cheap for Munich. So I got really lucky, but I'm very glad I found it.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Even though I don't live that far away, it was necessary for my study to live closer. Because every day, like 1.5 hours both ways,
Right.
wasn't acceptable at one point anymore. So
Oh, half hour. Oh, was it on the U-Bahn or the S-Bahn?
the S-Bahn.
The S-Bahn. Oh, I
It's
see.
like the last station of it.
Oh, really, really.
The S2 to Petershausen.
And how was that? How was taking the S-Bahn on
the
the?
S-Bahn? For me personally, it was very stressful.
Yeah.
Because like Germans are very, they're not very, what should I say? It's difficult. I never thought about this in English.
Yeah.
They're very quiet. Like everybody, most of them are not talking. When someone is on the phone, you get looks. So you just stay by yourself and just try to pass the time and get out of it again.
So it was a bit too quiet.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I see.
I never feel comfortable riding a train.
Right. I'm glad that the live streaming is not too hard here. Well, it's mostly touristy area. That's why.
That's true, and it's all like rainy, so normally this is fucking crowded here.
It is because a lot of people drink outside here as well and like hang out outside and everything.
Yeah, but like the youth is somewhere else. It's like maybe mostly tourists, but like the real Munich people are not coming to this place to enjoy themselves. Because it's way too crowded.
So where do the locals mostly hang out in? What's like the big hangout for like 20-somethings and 30-somethings?
There are like districts where they hang out. There are like cafes and bars and shops. It's like Schwabing district.
Okay.
It's like a little bit north where I live right now.
Oh, cool. What's the subway stop? What's the metro stop?
Hohenzollernplatz.
Repeat that again?
Hohenzollernplatz.
Hohenzollernplatz. Okay. I think I'll remember that.
Most German name.
It's a beautiful show. So, how long does it go? Do you know?
15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes.
That's pretty long. Now, let me show a little bit more, and then we're gonna enjoy some beer with Lutzien. Lutzien is a German version of Lucien, then, or not so much.
It's like a Swedish name.
Oh, it's a Swedish name.
Like Lucia,
Oh, I see.
but I don't have Swedish roots at all. So my parents like this.
Oh yeah.
Should I hold your umbrella?
What?
Should I hold your umbrella while you're filming?
Yeah, exactly. Well, luckily the iPhone is waterproof, which is nice.
The gimbal as well?
The gimbal as well, yeah. But I'm running out of battery on the gimbal. All right, everyone. That's most of the show for the clock. I'm excited to have some beer. Let's go undercover somewhere where there's cover. I think here at the
tower over there.
yeah. Let's do that.
It's really funny because like of old toys.
And is it nice inside? Do you recommend it?
My grandma is working there actually.
Oh, she is. Oh, that's so cool.
I don't know where that came, but she's working there for like 12 years already.
What area is she in? Just in case I go, maybe say hi.
Which area?
Yeah. What area of the museum?
Today's Friday, right?
Today's Friday. Yeah.
She might be here.
Oh, she might be here.
Yeah,
Oh, that's what
I
it is.
think she's always working on Friday and sometimes on Saturday. But
Is
I'm
she
not sure.
retired?
No,
No, she still works full time.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Like full time, like once a week.
Oh, okay. And how is it living in Munich? Is it nice, lively?
For me personally, yes, because everything is speeding up. I can use my time way better.
Okay.
Because everything is like connected and close, and my friends are here, so I can use my day completely. I get home from school, I get a nap, I eat something, and then I can still use the day for a bit of free time or for sports or whatever.
Oh, that's good.
And before I just came home, and yeah, the day was over, so I couldn't do anything more because of the like long distances I have to cover with the train. So I really enjoy it right now. But one thing I can really say, is riding a lot of my bicycle here, and the traffic is, as you just said before, like the traffic is very good.
Oh, the traffic is good. Oh, that's good to hear.
I think you said that before, right?
Yeah. Well, at least here in the old town center, there's barely any traffic.
But to be honest, here in the old town center, but
Let me see if there's a place I can put down my camera so I'm not holding it while drinking beer. A lot of bicycles. Nice. Over here. This electrical box over here. That's my tripod. Even though it's crazy dirty. Oh my god. That's insane.
The best view for the studio. I guess it's fine.
That's fine, yeah. All right, everyone, let's try Dilazua beer tasting with Lucian.
I recommend you this one.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try this one first. You have a bottle opener?
Yeah, of course. Not a proper bottle opener, but
You carry a lot of alcohol.
yeah, that's true.
Are you about to party afterwards?
I meant to go on a concert later.
Oh, you did? Oh,
Yeah, but
can you bring alcohol to the concert?
Yeah, but I'm meeting with some friends of mine and we drink a bit and then we go there and collect it. But it's sold out. I already thought if you could join, but it's sold out.
Oh, sold out. What was the concert? Plume.
Yeah, everybody
I've heard of
search for Plume. It's like Plume. It's like a very tiny band right now from Munich. They're from the region here. And they just won a contest last year with like 50 other bands and they came out on top. And a friend of mine is playing in the band and they make really great sound, like in the rock electro direction. If you like it, check it out. They deserve it.
Electro. I had a feeling that was electronic music because it's famous in Berlin. It's famous in Berlin, right?
Yeah, but it's more like techno in Berlin.
Techno.
But this one is.
Oh my god, you have an interesting trick. Can you show that on camera?
Like you can open everything. It's like just a
Using
top of a
a wine
bottle.
bottle.
And then you have the finger here, and you just clip it in here, and
That's fascinating. What?
you learn this on the countryside.
Wow. Proust.
Cheers. Prost, yeah.
Prost. Prost.
Prost.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It's really good.
Like it?
It's a little bit more bitter than the other beers in a good way. Yeah.
Yeah. Can be that.
It tastes a little bit more malty too. Really good. And I love how they use the word hell.
Hell.
What does that mean in German?
Light. White or light.
It's not quite as badass.
Not quite.
That's not what I
Like,
expected.
you could say that this lamp is
Yeah.
white, like this lamp is hell.
This stuff is okay. And how's yours? Describe it for everyone.
Well, it's really tough to describe. To be honest, I can't describe because I tasted it so often that for me it's just the Augustiner beer. It's difficult
So
to
it's
tell.
similar to Augustiner.
This is the Augustiner.
Well, it is Augustiner. Oh,
That's
I
why I
see.
gave you this because you already tried that one, right?
Yes, yeah. I like this one. This one is agreeing with me as well, similar to Polliner.
To be honest, Paulaner or Löwenbräu or Spaten, I never really drink.
Oh, you don't like?
When there is no chance around, then I might drink Paulaner as well. But when I have the choice, I always go with those two.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I'm gonna try this again.
Like when you host a party here and you don't have this beer, it's a
Yeah.
bad party. Yeah.
But how about for the older folks, your parents or your grandparents' generation? What do they drink?
They mostly, you mean beer?
Beer, yeah.
They mostly go with Pilz or Zwicker, which are like different kinds of like, this is Helles,
Okay.
and the Zwicker or Dunkles, it's like the opposite of this, Hell, Dunkel.
Oh, it's like dark.
and light, yeah.
Also,
So,
light is now more popular with younger folks. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting,
That's
interesting.
also on the older folks, but older folks like other beers as well. But in my age, we always go with Pils.
Oh, I see, I see.
Or just for breakfast, we go with Weissbier.
Weissbier.
Weissbier, yeah.
Yeah, which is interesting. So here in Germany, they drink, or at least in Bavaria, they drink beer for breakfast. And like around what time? Is it very early or 11 or 10?
10 to 12.
10 to 12.
Because you know white sausages?
Yes.
You eat it most of the time on Saturday or when you have something to celebrate, and then you drink it, or you eat them to 12 o'clock, not longer. Because back in the days, it was like a rule just till 12 o'clock and then you have to stop. Because when you eat them longer, it's like there's nothing to cool them down and they get bad, so you have to eat them fast. And that's why you drink rice beer with it.
Oh, that's
It's like
fascinating.
some people would say lighter or different with this beer because this might
less
gets you a
alcohol.
little bit in the head, and the light beer is like better for the beginning of the day. Like you don't drink it after you woke up and just get a beer. That's not the case. It's like.
And do people drink coffee after that meal, or is coffee like in the very beginning of the day? Or is coffee even that popular in Germany?
It depends. It is popular, but
Yeah.
most people really drink it just to work, to get shit done.
Oh, I see.
Like coffee just to celebrate and to enjoy it. There are barely people out there.
That's why I barely saw coffee shops. There's not that many around. So we're gonna stick around for like 2 more minutes. Ask Lucian any other questions.
I hope we can answer.
I was gonna go to one more church, but I'm gonna cover that on a short video because this is a cool story.
Wow, I want a beer now.
Yes. There's some German beers available in the UK sometimes. You have to go to like special
It's like Armin from Buren. Yeah, back in the days. There are a few cool tracks. Yeah.
Armin van Buuren is a famous German.
No, he's from Amsterdam actually. I think.
Oh, he's Dutch. He's a very
Dutch,
famous Dutch electronic artist. And Ariel's getting crunk tonight. Well, that's the beauty of Munich. Do people tend to get drunk in Munich, or is that more what tourists do? Like, what's normal usually for drinking out? Do people get tipsy, or do they tend to go hard with alcohol?
They do get tipsy regularly, like maybe 3-4 times a week, and like you go hard like once a week, I would say.
I see.
But it depends. There come some periods where you don't touch alcohol for a long time, like 4 weeks or like 2 months, because you drank too much. Then you get sober for like proper time, and then you start again.
To build up to lower the tolerance once again.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's also very at a point it's very bad for your health, and you feel that. So you just have to stop. But that's only my point. But I'm very conscious about my body, and there are other people who just drink beer on a daily basis.
So if I may ask, is your alcoholism is an issue or not really?
In Germany?
In Germany, yeah.
It's a big issue.
I see, but people also drink casually, so it's not also a big deal to have a light beer during the day.
Yeah, I would say so. Like when you have to get shit done, or you have to, am I allowed to swear?
Yeah. Go for it.
When you need to be productive during the day, it's like not likely seen by people when you're drunk and can't work anymore. But as long as you're functioning, it's fine.
It's fascinating. Yeah. So getting shit done is more important. The more priority, and then second priority is have a drink.
Yeah.
Isabel says hello, Lucian. Let's see.
Yeah, you spelled it right.
What's the best food in Munich, in your opinion?
Best food?
Yeah.
Something traditionally or overall?
So traditional and then not German. So what's your traditional German and then not German?
Traditional German, I would say. Wow, those are tough questions. Like the brezel with white sausage. It's like so special, such a special taste. I never tasted something similar. So the white sausage with brezel and like sweet mustard.
And then is white sausage just good in general, or are there places that are better than others?
You shouldn't buy it on the supermarket, but there are like a few how you say, Metzgerei where they do meat, where they convert meat. My English is a bit rusty.
So I heard that this is what Germans tend to say, but your English is very good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. But I know I can do better, so... But,
Did you learn English when you were in school, like young?
Yeah.
Oh,
From
interesting.
a young age. But I had been to Victoria on Vancouver Island for like 4 weeks when I was 15, and that really helped me to pronounce English better. Because I think when I speak, you might, or you shouldn't hear my German accent anymore.
I still hear it, yeah.
It's not that bad.
Right.
So that's where it comes from. So.
But almost all movies and TV is in German, right? They do dub it here.
Yeah. But I grew up without a TV, and I'm really proud of my parents that I had no TV during my childhood. It was tough because we're never able to speak with all my friends about some series or SpongeBob or whatever. So I always had to sit and listen to them. But right now, I had a really good childhood, I would say, because there was no TV. But then I got older and there came a PC and I went into gaming and then shifted.
Yeah, gaming streaming was not legal for a while in Germany. Like you had to get a license. Yeah, if you had like a big audience. But I think that changed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before my time.
Before your time. And then best food not German food. There's a street sweeper passing right now. Best not German food. What's your best form in Munich?
Munich for me, Japanese sushi.
Okay.
But it's
Let's wait for it.
Japanese sushi restaurant.
Yeah.
So I'm really into Japanese food right now. So that's my personal, but it's not something what Munich is known for.
More Turkish food, right?
Yeah. But there are like many gimbals and should we go on? Oh, I'm here, but
Street cleaner, that's why it's so clean. The street. Look at that. Very efficient little machines. Much smaller than the US.
it's so nice.
Oh, this guy's going a lot.
It's going hard.
All right, let's move. Let's say goodbye in across the block. Watch my short videos if you want to see more videos about Munich.
Let's go on the arrow.
And give a round of hearts to Lucien for gifting me a nice beer to try. This one is really good. Highly recommend it. I'm gonna show the name of it on the other side. So round of hearts for Lucien, and highly recommend Munich. I love it. I have great first impressions of it. It's amazing. You started watching my shorts or my live
like
streams?
your New York shorts.
Ah, I see.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for the German shorts soon.
Oh yeah, look at that.
So one more time, here's the beer, right there. And then show your beer just so people know. Right there. So everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. Keep being awesome and always keep on exploring. And as Lucien is used to in my short videos,
Stay curious.
stay thirsty, my friends. And then let's do a wave go beers as I do in my live videos.
You do?
Yeah. Bruce.
Very smart.
Tschüss.